Good day. Good day. Thank you for joining me. Welcome to Words of Wisdom. The sun was out a minute ago, so it might look a little bit dark here at the minute, but I think it's gonna any minute now blaze out behind this little dark cloud that suddenly came across as I started this reading. Anyway, let's go on and find what it is that we are being guided with today. I felt called to do a new chapter, new beginning spell for you today. We're going to use our Witch's Tarot cards, and I did a little reading a little bit earlier on that for TikTok, and I used these cards, and when I finished I turned them round and I thought, oh, I'll use them this afternoon on my YouTube Words of Wisdom, because it's a bit of a longer chat, put it that way, because I have you guys, But when I did, the card that was underneath was the Fool. The first card in this pack, 0, the Fool. Look at her. Look at her. Yay! Yay! And I didn't think much. I thought, right, good, yes, I'm going to use this. And then when I came round, and I thought, right, what is it in the spell book today? And I pulled up New Chapter, New Beginning, sat down, and I looked at the Fool card, and I thought, yeah, that's what it's about. So as we surrender to our wonderful journey, if you're on this journey, you're watching this, you're with me all the way on this one. I just was reading my Cosmic Purpose book. And this is by Kirsty Gallagher, by the way, and she is amazing. I really resonate with what she says. And she says, trust in the universe and discover your life path. And that is something that I've been very keen to do in a little while. It's been pushing me. And I really know without a shadow of a doubt that this next stage, this new chapter, this new adventure is going to be something that I'm going to be really spiritually connected to, I believe. Anyway, right? But I wanted to just read this to you as well. She says, find pockets of gratitude, love, joy, happiness, and appreciation everywhere you can. And when you find them, feel them with every part of your being. Sit in the vibration of your soul as often as you can, and feel this in every cell of your being. Raise your vibration as quickly as you can and feel the vibration of what it is that you do want to experience. And your life will begin to change instantly. And from this place of being in your highest soul's vibration, you can more easily trust the process as you go on your exploration. And I thought that is so true, okay? That is so amazing, because yes, I've become more and more in this state of sort of surrender and just allowing. And it was... and then after reading that as well, I thought, right, my positive, my higher vibration, raise your vibration oracle cards called to me as well. So they are on the table today alongside this beautiful Witch's Tarot. And I turned over to read chapter 18, and the first thing I saw was the universe always has a plan, and in surrender, you allow that plan to unfold. So it is about, the more you work on yourself, the more you see or feel the vibration, the evidence, the energy, the more things that come about, and you make your connections with your signs, your synchronicities, the messages that you get. I get messages all the time. And when I went out for my walk earlier on, I met 3 people. 2 of them I haven't seen in quite a while. The first one was with his son. He walks his 2 dogs. I was like, oh, how are you? Haven't seen you in ages. Lovely. And we were sort of straight away, it's always about, oh, the weather's lovely today, enjoying the walk, and, hope this sunshine. And I hope that it's, really going to stay. We're going to have this lovely stuff, you know, that sort of thing. And on I went. And then I came across another lady. I haven't seen her often, but she walked past and hello to the dogs. And she didn't have a dog, but she'd been walking and she was saying how lovely the sun is. She was taking her hoodie off and I'd just taken mine off. And anyway, and then after I'd done my power of thought, which was all about meeting people, networking, being part of something bigger than we even realize often at the time, which is a part and parcel of these messages and signs and synchronicities, that we suddenly realize, oh, because of that, because of this, we become inspired, we, you know, all of these good things. And that is this journey. This is the surrender of it. I came across a friend of mine that I hadn't seen for a while. She'd been away, and it's always lovely. We always have our chat, only our 10-minute chat, but it sort of lifts us up. And she said, I've met someone. And I was so pleased for her. I said, you deserve it. And it was so lovely for her. I mean, she was like, he's, you know, from my past. I really didn't, you know, think that I was going to meet anybody. And she tried Tinder. And we'd had this conversation a few months back. And I said, I'm the same, you know, it must be natural. It's a natural feeling, you'll know. And I was absolutely thrilled for her. And we had a good chat. And we go into quite a bit of depth. And as we walked away, I felt envious. I actually said to her, I'm so envious, you know, and I thought, why did I use that word? It's not like me. Why would I be envious of someone else's happiness? That's awful. And I thought about that as I was walking along. So I'm talking away to spirit thinking, but it's a human reaction, isn't it? You know, we do. But I wasn't jealous of her. I wasn't, you know, going to make that negative. I just thought, oh, you know, how lucky she is, you know, that. So when is it my turn? That was where my thought went. And then I recognized it as being hope. Hope for something that is coming. You know, we all have hope. So all the people I'd spoken to, it was hope. That we hope that the sunshine stays out. We hope that we meet the love of our life. We hope we feel love. We have attention, whatever it might be. There's that word hope. And that was where I was going to go today. I was thinking, well, let's see what hope comes on the table for us. What are we hoping for? Because, of course, we want something new. We've got this portal opening on Friday. We've got a full moon on Saturday. We want a new chapter, a new beginning. But sometimes we just can't see, you know, and all we can do is just surrender. And that is part of hope, isn't it? Just hope that it's going to change and trust and surrender that it will. And that is what I'm chatting about today. I don't know. Anyway, you know me, whatever comes out of my mouth, it goes. And I've got an example for you because I'm experiencing it and I hope it helps whoever's watching this. Big shout out to my lovely knitting lady, Liliana. Lovely to hear from you. And I hope that you know, really enjoy our chats, as I know that I really enjoy hearing from you guys, and I enjoy having chats myself. So let's do the new chapter, new beginning spell. And I told you the sun was going to pour out, so now I can hardly see anything. I'm just going to give this a little close. I think not that I want to close the sun off me. I thought I've got to be able to see something, haven't I? All right, so beautiful. Sun's on my back now. That's lovely. I don't mind that. Okay, here we go. Vision clear, intention set. What I seek, I shall get. Universe, hear my plea. Bring forth what's meant for me. By earth's foundation, waters flow. By fire's passion, air's echo. Align the star, the moon, the sun, until my manifestation is done. As I speak, so shall it be. By my will, blessed be. So that is our little spell today. And as I was reading it, I was hearing trust. So hope and trust, those are our 2 words of the day. And let's see if they come in for us today in some way. I actually also have not got my runes out, which is, there they are. So let's ask our runes first of all before we start with the cards. I always like to bring my runes in. Let's do them first today. Let's do it. I've picked them up. I've wanted them. All right. Well, we have our magical unicorn on the table. Magic is with us. Absolutely. Do we believe in magic? Yes, we do. I've got this one, and I have to tell you, I did find out what it was. So bear with me on that one. I knew I would. I had to. All right. There we go. That is our first one. Our R. Our lovely R. R. Here's my book. It's Wunyo, isn't it? R. I always want to say Rado or Rado, but oh, it is. It's Rado. I was right. Rado, wagon, riding, a vehicle. A vehicle. Throwing my runes around. Travel, a journey, movement, reunion, changes. Lovely. Look at that. New beginnings. I love it. So it is a rune of travel. So if your travel is physical, it signals a pleasant experience with no or few or no mishaps at all. If it's on your spiritual quest, the going may require significant flexibility on your part, but the rewards of reaching your destination will be well worth it as you are following your soul's chosen path. Soul purpose, I just read from the book. So absolutely true. Beautiful. Thank you for this rune. That's amazing. Either way, you are advised to keep your focus on the experience of the journey itself rather than on your arrival. This is because Rado signifies not just the vehicle you ride in, but also the road you travel on. You will be best served by making the most of every moment along the way. Oh my goodness me. Isn't that incredible? Gratitude, my friend. Absolutely. Do you know, I keep doing this. I keep saying this. I was doing my power of thought earlier, and exactly that, you know, the idea of where were you a year ago? How much have you done? Where have you come from? Even my reading on TikTok this morning. Oh my goodness, this is amazing. The reunion, it can be the return of old friends in your life. There we are, 3 people, or 2 of them I haven't seen in ages on my little walk. And I've had that in recent weeks as well. New people as well could come into your life. They've made a soul agreement before incarnating into this life with you. All right, so magical uses, it is about navigating inner journeys. Inner journeys. Okay. Now, we've got our little diamond shape. Now, this one, interestingly, is actually, I will show you now, if I can find it. And I did look it up and I checked it out. And I actually was going to ask the rune lady when I was at the spiritual fair, but she was busy with someone, so I had to do it myself. So actually, it is part of Athala. So you can see Athala, and we often get Athala. And it's just another version of Athala. So I will tell you, it's about obviously inheritance, tradition, family ties. It can be obviously about the idea of us carrying traits, beliefs, habits, and influences from our family of origin. All right. So it could be, if you're traveling and you're thinking about traveling, it could be these cultural values and differences that you might meet on someone with on your travels. So that could be the cultural traditions rooted in place. Foundation of community, keeping families. It symbolizes these family ties, which are integral part of life in past centuries and still are in many people today. If you live close to your extended family, Athala may be advising you to lean on them for emotional or material support if you're with a challenging matter. All right. Now, we've also got... I'm just going to grab them now. We've also got Sawilo on the table. All right, good, good, good. Alongside double Hagalaz. Now, when we think about the double of the Hagalaz rune, all right, it's quite strong. Now, Hagalaz, as we know, is all about interference, transformation. Okay, I'm going to go with the transformation because we've just done a new chapter, new beginning spell. We're talking about that. We're asking Spirit today about it. So we're going with the fact that there is a double whammy, double confirmation that this transformation is going to be really significant for you in your life, okay? And Sawilo is about good health. It's about success and energy. And it is the rune of the sun as well. And there I was talking to you about, oh, the sun's out, is here to stay, and that's what we would like, and that's the hope, and what have you. So when we see this rune, when we think about it from that point of view, it's a very important transformation. But the sun card in tarot is often a yes card, isn't it? The sun card also signifies summer. Okay, and summer, of course, is where we are right now. It's also the color yellow, which is a bright color. So I'm just trying to give you sort of the thoughts of where we're going and what we're going to find in our cards, possibly that would be significant of what the runes are telling us. It's about light of day. Also, it's about there's no darkness to obscure your vision anymore. So that's really lovely with the double transformation here on the table with Hagalaz's stones. It's telling you you're surrounded by warmth and light. Success, good health, and joy are yours if you will allow yourself to have them, as are good luck and prosperity. And we have our magical unicorn on the table with us right now. So that is incredibly lovely. And of course, we've got those other two runes that are saying exactly the same thing with Otharlo and where is it? Oh, there. See it for looking. Otharlo with the idea of inheritance and family ties. So maybe money is coming, wealth, but you know, material possessions are one thing. When you've got the sort of, I always say, if I win the lottery of life, you know, when I'm on the spiritual journey, that's how I feel. I feel like I've won that lottery, a life lottery for me, because I've changed my life in such beautiful ways, and I live in such a happy state. And I'm sharing this with you because it's so nice to be able to say, you know, the inspiration I can give you is that transformation's not a bad thing. But of course, sometimes things have to be cleared out the way, have to end, have to close, whatever it might be, for this transformation, for new beginnings, for new things to come. And that is when we're on a spiritual journey, sometimes the hardest thing for us to be able to overcome, because we want to kind of hold on and try and stay sort of safe, even though we know it's not for us, and we definitely feel that, you know, it's not for us. But we know we don't want to, because we're humans, and often we do have this sort of feeling of comfort and stability in something we know rather than what we don't know. And that was the card, the Fool card, is like surrender to the unknown, jump off that cliff, trust in where you're being led, listen and be guided. Yeah, it's getting deep today. This energy is really strong. All right, spirits, thank you so much Thank you so, so much. I don't even know if I have to tap in because I can feel the energy already. Just reminded me to tell you, this is our little message today. The most resilient will win. And I looked at that and I mentioned it this morning and I was like, oh my goodness. And I mentioned it in one of my other readings. And then on the back, forge ahead, fear no setbacks. I thought, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We can't fear those setbacks because those setbacks are lessons. Those setbacks are clearing. Those setbacks are allowing for something else to come in. All right. So Spirit, please, can we have your guidance? New beginning, new start, new chapter, new adventure. Let's have some guidance, please, Spirit, for this week. For my lovely viewer who's sitting knitting, I think she said, knitting. I love that. I can't knit. I've never been able to knit. I always thought, you know, well, once I sort of retire, I'll knit. But I think, well, I'll probably be doing this. I don't know. I just don't really have a lot of patience for knitting. I like the start of it. I like this. And then I'm sort of, I'm over that. That's what I'm like. Okay, we've got a lot of cards on this table. Now, I love the way they sort of place themselves as well. I love that when they do that on my magic table. So let's have a little look at this. Let's have a look at this. Okay, first of all, there are 3 cards over here and they are all in the reverse. 3 cards in the reverse. We've got this beautiful, nice little 10 of Pentacles sitting happily over here by the book, almost sort of saying, well, we're going to get to this point. So what is it that we're being guided with on our route? And over here, we have got the 9 of Swords, the 5 of Cups, the 8 of Cups, and a little surprise one, which we'll leave for a minute. Let's get to that. But let's focus on these 3 at the top. I'm going to focus on these 3 at the top. That's what I'm going to do. I'm being told. I'm being guided. That's beautiful. All right. So our 4 of Swords. Our 4 of Swords. Okay, in reverse. Our King of Wands in reverse. And our Knight of Wands in reverse. So you take what resonates for you. Let's see if this reading is for you. Perhaps you'll get a little bit of detail. If the runes haven't sort of helped you in some way and made you think, yeah, I'm going to listen a little bit longer to this Words of Wisdom by Deb, maybe this will be the answer for you now. All right, so our 4 of Wands. Let's have a little look at our card. Now, she's having a good old sleep, so is the cat. It kind of feels quite restful, quite peaceful. The 4 of Wands are all sort of stacked up quite nicely, almost like sort of finished with, aren't they? It's almost like that peace. And she's sleeping, she's rejuvenating, she's meditating. Okay, it is nighttime. All right, let's have a little look at our 4 of Wands. Now, we do want to remember what we know about wands. They are fire, so it can be about career, goals, passion, will, desires, all that type of thing. So, what are we being guided with this week? And 4s are about stagnation, but also about stability. And I kind of feel that's what I was trying to say about those swords. They're all very well stacked, aren't they? Very stable. They're not sort of just lying around. They've all been put very carefully in their holder. Yeah? So it's a very stable feel to start this reading. Okay, with 4s. I'm not going to say stagnation because I don't know. I think we know that we're moving. I think we know that we've got what we've got to do in terms of moving towards the 8-8 portal. But let's take our guidance for our 4 of Swords. There. Okay. All right. Are you ready? Are you resting or retreating? We all need to pull back from the world from time to time and take a break, catch our breath and regroup. The trick is to know the difference between the lack of movement that is positive and beneficial and the lack of movement that means we are stuck in a state of suspended animation. Things to consider. Depending on where this card falls in a reading, it may be a suggestion you need to rest and refresh your spirit, giving yourself the time and space to renew mind, body, and spirit. So this was the very first card that I've put up at the top, and I feel like that is really an important message right now because the energies are really strong. We've talked about making sure that we ground ourselves, okay, with our red carnelian. We talked about this yesterday, grounding ourselves, root chakra, sacral chakra, making sure that we, our sacral chakra is very grounding, it's near the root chakra, but it's also about emotional peace, emotional grounding, emotional balance. Yeah. Alternatively, it could indicate you're stuck in a bit of a rut, spinning your wheels when you should be taking action. Are you tired or overwhelmed? Are you running away, making tough choices or taking decisive action? This card indicates that they are stuck and probably not going to change. If you feel a negative reaction to the card, if you're feeling like, yeah, that's me, I'd rather sleep and close my eyes and ignore a situation. It's very different doing a meditation and having a nap and looking after yourself with a knowing that everything is good. I'm okay. I've solved that problem. You don't rest if you know that there is something that you haven't seen to, that you haven't paid attention to. So it's very difficult sometimes to, have that rest, because it'll come out in your sleep patterns, it'll come out in your dreaming, your state can come out in your body in all sorts of ways. So I think that's a very nice card to start with, considering that we are having to do some releasing, we are having to make sure that we move forward with hope, with surrender, with trust, those words that we used right in the beginning of this reading. Now, this card sits next to the King of Wands, our beautiful King of Wands. There he sits, the cat's sort of giving him some guidance, so his intuition, he's very on point, very clever. Our King of Wands, he's intelligent. He knows what he's looking for. He knows what he wants. You can see there on the map, he's pointing very directly at a very empty space, but he knows it's there, whatever it is that he wants to talk about. So we know swords are about air, communication, the mind, truth, problems, and solutions, which was our Four of Swords. And then we know the King of Wands, and wands are about career and goals and passions and desires. I think I made a mistake and called this the Four of Wands earlier, and it was swords, so I apologize for that. And that's interesting because we have got a lot of wands on the table. Have we got? No, we haven't. We haven't as yet got the Four of Wands, so I don't know where my mind was going with the Four of Wands, but the King of Wands, obviously career, passion, desires, projects. So are you not looking at your project? Are you not giving yourself that boost that you need in terms? But that's okay. Take your time thinking about it maybe. All right? Because the King of Wands is here to tell you, quite honestly, I think you are going to hit the mark. He knows that there is something there. Forge ahead with determination. Resilience will win. Resilience. Oh my gosh. Forge ahead. Fear no setbacks. There we are. This is a good, strong message for someone again today. This is amazing. So take charge of your own destiny. New spell, new day. We did that spell. New beginning, new starts. We've got new chapter, new adventures. It's lovely. The King of Wands knows what he wants, and he will do what it takes to get it. He is active, he's passionate, and he's driven. If this king appears in your reading, he may represent a strong male figure who is influencing your life. Maybe for the better, maybe not. So you might have a partner who is maybe not supporting you in some way, which could be causing this sort of stagnation a little bit, or making you feel like if I just close my eyes, it'll all go away and I won't have to answer. I've been there, done that. Right. So who is controlling your life and dictating the way your future will unfold? If it is it you or someone else? Oh my goodness. Communication, Four of Swords. Speak up, my friend. Don't hand over your own power without a good reason. Although it's fine to take help from someone who is in a position to give you a push in the right direction, is there some area of your life where you need to step up and take charge? If so, now is probably the time to do it. And we have the Knight of Wands. And he looks like he's about to take charge. But again, remember, we see that dragon with the fire. Okay, and we know that we have to be aware of that. We have to be wary a little bit. We have to be a little bit aware that possibly what we're going to communicate somebody else might not like. Or it could be that you just might not have a bit of patience, possibly. The Knight of Wands, he's flying. He's on his broom. He's ready. He's off. All right. He's got his wand. It's all fired up. The magic is about to happen. We have magic on our table. So take what resonates. Our Knight of Wands. So our king and our knight. Passion, excitement, adventure await if you are brave enough to move forward despite the risks. All right. So if he shows up in your reading, it could be an indication you have a faithful friend or a family member who is dedicated to your cause, or a man who is willing to face the future by your side. So maybe that is what this king is. He's by your side right now. Okay. So maybe that's all you needed to hear, and rest assured that that person in your life, that male figure, that person that supports you in whatever way, okay, divine masculine energy, maybe. It could also mean that you are letting passion carry you away without thinking, okay? Now, if he shows up this night in your reading, it could represent someone else in your life, a son or a young and adventurous friend or lover. If so, his presence is probably a good thing as long as you're not being swept along willy-nilly with his passion. Sometimes the night is an indication that it is time for you to take action. No more planning or thinking things through. All right, so we've had that on the table as well. Please take what resonates. You'll know. Just move forward in the direction you know you want to go, but be aware that there may be dragons at the end of your journey. So there we are. We had our Fool. We take a leap. We know we've got to. Okay, it's about time. All right, so 9 of Swords we have next to contemplate. We have our 5 of Cups. And we have our 8 of Cups. Again, it's interesting how we have 2 wands and we have 2 cups under the wands, and we have both of these are swords, and both were in the reverse, but of course these cards don't necessarily take the reverse. But again, the 9 of Swords, look at her, all her swords are all stacked up really nicely. Okay, she is crying, she is upset, she's feeling a little bit miserable. She's got all the knowledge, all the, look, the books are open. But there is a new day. Look, it's dawning. There's the sun coming up. The bird is about to start singing. It feels like a hope card, you know. Not all hope is lost. And also this idea of the most resilient will win. You know, you've got 9. It's almost that completion. You're almost there. Yes. And the 5 of Cups is similar. Look. Don't be crying over those cups. Look at these two. They're standing upright on the table with all of this wonderful food and drink. You've got balloons. It's almost like these are big celebration. You know, don't keep looking over here. Very interesting. Walking away, the Eight of Cups. Walking away. You have to leave something behind often. Often if there's, you know, there's 8 cups there, right, that you are leaving behind. But one of them is still smoking. Look. Still something in that cup. That might have been that one that said to you, move, go. Whatever it might be. And it doesn't mean to say that you can't return, or whatever was here won't return to you. Interesting. But let's see. Let's see what the Nine of Swords is all about. Communication, swords, truth, problems and solutions. Beautiful. And nines are almost the idea of the completion. We're almost at the sort of end of something. But also it's about solitude. It's about the individual, nines are. Okay? This is about you, your journey. And, you know, if you are on a spiritual journey, often we want to share it with others. And if people that aren't on a spiritual journey, we call them muggles, they're not going to understand. They could even make you feel that you are a bit mad, a bit cray-cray. I often get it. But you mustn't let people detract you from what it is that your soul knows, your soul purpose. It's right there, okay? You have to pack up and go, right? Just be a little bit aware of what is about, okay? Be a little bit aware of it. That fire, that dragon, okay? And you might have somebody that's on your side, in your team. I've got a lovely soul tribe. I'm very blessed with my soul tribe. And some of them have left now. I don't speak to them as much, but in the very beginning, we spoke every day, sometimes twice a day. They helped me through so much. But they don't always have to be there. They've taught me so much. I meet new people. You know, I've started my own collective of people that are wanting help and advice and what have you. Because I know I've been here. I've been with this scenario. Okay. So, Nine of Swords. Let's go. Our Nine of Swords is, it's always darkest before dawn. So, as I said, there's the sun is rising. Can you see that? Sun is rising. All right. And I did mention about lack of sleep and things like that. And often that can be the case if you are not really paying attention to how you're feeling, or you're not resting and rejuvenating, or you're not releasing and you're not doing. Remember I said that? And that Nine of Swords has come out underneath the Four of Swords. So, Nine of Swords. All of us have times when life seems overwhelming. Our hearts are broken or our spirit is crushed, and it seems like we will always feel this way. Absolutely. I've been there, done that, worn the t-shirt, my friend, worn the t-shirt. If the Nine of Swords is in the past position, you may finally be working your way out of the dark. And it was over here, wasn't it? Okay, so let's take that as a sign, because I really started with the 3 at the top, and then we have these 3 cards, and I still have one that I'm going to turn over very shortly. So these are our past position cards. We're going to be thinking of them as that. How far we've come. We're at this point. We're nearly there. We're about to take that chance. We want our new chapter. We want our new beginning. If it's falling in the future position, pay attention. Okay, pay attention to what is going on around you. Knight of Wands energy there. All right. It could be that you need to pick your head up and look around. All right. Things are not always as bad as they seem. All right. And, you know, we've all been there. We've done that. And sometimes, like, even when you're a child, I don't know if you experience this. I don't know why I'm going off on this tangent. But anyway, you know, my mother used to say, wait till your father gets home. He'll be in trouble. And I would sit there panicking and thinking of all the horrible things he was going to do. My father never did anything to me. You're a child, you think. And then you have the conversation and it's never as bad as you see, it seems, you know. So sometimes that threat is in your head, isn't it? In yourself. You think it's worse than it should be. So interesting that has, I don't know why I'm saying that, but it might resonate with someone. So please just be aware, all right? It's not as bad as it seems. Pay attention. Don't let yourself get caught up in a spiral of self-pity and despair. There is no need, I'm hearing. No need, my friend. Okay. All right. So cups are all about emotions and relationships. And I'm looking for our 5 of cups. There it is. Are you focused on the negative or you're missing out on the good stuff? Remember, there's the good stuff. It's laid on a table for you. Good wine, good food. So no more negative thoughts, I think, is a very strong message here. All right. Look around you. Count your blessings. Gratitude. If you don't have milk, you'll just have to drink lemonade. I love that. That's so lovely. All right. It's not as bad as it seems. Nothing ever is. You can get through this. You will be okay. You have help, possibly. Ask that family member, the rune, family member. Maybe you need help from a family member. Maybe the King of Wands is your male family member for help. Okay, we have our double Helgas, and that's exactly it, those family ties. And then we have our 8 of Cups. Again, a lot of emotion, because sometimes it's really hard to walk away. It's really hard to change a behavior, a pattern, a feeling, a thought. I said this, didn't I? Very beginning of this reading. I'm sorry, it's 42 minutes in and I'm still bumping on. We'll get there. All right. She is being called to a new path, and no matter what she has to give up to do so, she is going to follow the call. Knight of Wands, you're getting on that broom and you're doing it, okay? If you are looking at this card, you may be at a turning point in your life. What did I say? Are you feeling as though there is something missing, or even your circumstances seem fine on the even though your circumstances seem fine on the surface? Are there issues that make an otherwise good situation not as perfect as you thought it would be? Have you been trying to ignore a strong call or do something different? Maybe even something that seems like it would be a crazy choice. Well, the 8 of Cups may indicate a dramatic change in a relationship or a career that used to bring you satisfaction and no longer does. Or simply that it is time for you to acknowledge it is time to walk away from your old safe life and into something new that holds the potential for future happiness. I love that. Hope, trust, and surrender. I love that. That is incredible. So our future was sitting down over here. Our future happiness, 10 of Pentacles. But let's ask Spirit now for this final guidance, because there was one card that I haven't turned over. We've got so much detail already that is really on point. We know that possibly we were quite negative. Maybe we're changing that. Maybe we just hit a bit of a low now. Maybe because all this energy that is about for this, the full moon and the portal, the Chiron with the retrograde, he's bringing up wounds. He's mercilessly making you think all of that. You're having to, we've got double whammy of Argos on the table. Oof, I'm sweating. This Phoenix energy is really rising right now. Can you see it? Oh my goodness, I am absolutely red. I've not had this before. This is crazy, this Phoenix energy. Anyway, happiness, my friend, is here, and we'll read that. But let's see what this card says. Yeah. Temperance. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? So, strong message. Remain balanced. Temperance is all about knowing. Patience as well. Okay? Surrendering. Temperance, surrendering. This is incredible. I'm going to read Temperance, and then we'll read the Ten of Pentacles. Temperance, number 14. Balance. It's impossible to achieve, but keep striving anyway. The feeling of this card is light-hearted, yet perfectly balanced. She's got carrots on the table. She's got her martini with her olives. Can you see that? Absolutely. She's got cakes, lovely cupcakes on a stand. She's got lemonade or another type of drink. It could be lemonade. It's got a lemon on the glass. So strive for balance in all things. All right. Moderation in all things, including moderation. And then smile, that angelic smile, because she has managed to achieve what for most of us is simply impossible. Striving for perfect balance is a never-ending task that requires both discipline and calm, along with the ability to go with the flow while staying rooted and strong. Read chakra much? And surrender. Surrender. Have you ever tried standing in the tree pose? Yes, I have. For the most of us, the best we can hope for is to maintain it for a moment or two. The keys to this yoga pose, much like the keys to life or keys to portals, are being rooted in the earth and to your own core, staying calm and composed and not struggling too hard. If the Temperance card appears in your reading, it may be a reminder to reach your inner strength. Take a deep breath. Is your life out of control? Perhaps it is time to work on moderation and calm. Work and play, paying attention to all aspects of your life, striving and resting. Look at that. I mean, yet that is like literally striving and resting. Look, striving and resting, working and resting. Look, absolutely. Work and play. Beautiful. Beautiful. Striving and resting. Work and play. Try to go with the flow, and every once in a while, treat yourself to a cupcake. I love that. And finally, my friend, this is what Spirit is saying. This is your final message with these cards today. It's our beautiful 10 of Pentacles. Yeah, 10's all about finish, completion. I just love it. And Pentacles is about earth. It's about finances, money, resources. You know, often we don't do something because we're worried about our resources. It's about prosperity. It's also healthy body, mind, emotional health. It's beautiful. Such a beautiful card. Lovely. Right, so 10 of Pentacles. Here we go. Find my Pentacles. Where are they? After Wands, I guess. Yes. All right. So 10 of Pentacles. Happiness is more than money. What did I say about material things in the runes? Oh my Lord. It's crazy. Abundance comes in many forms. Success is more than wealth. Be sure. Can't believe this. And I said to you, didn't I, the life lottery. The lottery of life is where I feel I've won. Be sure you live each moment to the fullest, especially those shared with others. Money doesn't guarantee happiness, but a certain level of financial security can definitely make it easier to relax and enjoy what you have. The Ten of Pentacles is an indication that you have or will attain your desires. It looks like everything is finally coming up roses. Just remember that roses have a life cycle too, and nothing living stays at its peak forever. Enjoy the good days while you are living them, and let the strengths you derive from home and success help you to be even better prepared for whatever life will throw at you next. This card is all about getting what you want and reveling in it. So you might want to ask yourself what you really want. Do you have it or some reasonable version of it? Yes, I do. If so, make sure that you are taking the time and energy to appreciate it. Spend time with those you love, doing what you love to do. Enjoy your work as much as your play. Yeah, there's your balance, my friend. Success is just around the corner, or maybe across the street, down a block, or then around the corner. But keep plugging away. You're definitely on the right track, and they all lived happily ever after. I can't even, honestly. Right, that is just beautiful. I don't even think we need the Cosmic Insight cards, but they're on the table for a reason. So I'm just going to ask, oh, hang on. They were all round the wrong way except for those. I'm just going to ask Spirit for our Cosmic Insights on this. And let's then get a positive vibe, a high vibration card. And we'll finish off this reading. I'm very sure quite shortly, don't worry. If you're still here, well done you. My goodness me. If you are still with me, this is going to take hours to upload. There we are. Ah, beautiful. Sorry. My battery's going low. Let go. Let go. Surrender. Make room for the new beginning on its way to you now. I can't write this. Spirit, that is incredible. And underneath, right, they said, look at the bottom, and I actually just put it back down. But I suddenly got the message. Pregnancy, someone is expecting. But pregnancy is about rebirth. The rebirth card. Something new, exciting. Let go. Let go, my friend. That's amazing. Wow! Oh! Oh! I just love that. I'm absolutely blown away by this reading. So thank you for joining me all this time. Okay, Spirit, let's have a positive, high vibration oracle card. Give us this final message, please, Spirit. Fantastic. The next few days. Yes. Look, I am surrounded by angels. Protected, guided, looked after. Let it go. There's your butterflies. I've got my butterfly top on. Butterflies, let it go. If this is one reading that I would go, oh my goodness, it's such a great sign, I'm absolutely blown away. So, my darlings, thank you for joining me. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate you sitting all this time, 52 minutes. I don't know where the time's gone. I absolutely loved sharing this with you. And I will see you again really soon on Words of Wisdom. Please please put a comment if you've really enjoyed this, if it's come across your page or it's enlightened you or whatever it might be. And I see you again soon. Thank you so much.